We are live. Get up, get up, get up. We are live with 10 minutes left of the game. Arsenal are 2-0 up still. So for anyone who's watching now, come and join me for the final 10 minutes of commentary. If you are watching on TikTok, come over to YouTube and join us in the chat. The link is in the bio. If you can't find the link, it's KS1 TV on YouTube. Just type that in there and you'll find me live. Don't be shy. Hit that subscribe button as well while you're there. Come on, get up, get on with it. Never a pen. Never a pen. Arsenal have been asked the questions today and they have answered them. Not in style, but it doesn't matter. They're doing the job that has been asked of them. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Galamesh plays the ball back to Sher. What was it? That wasn't. It was Botman, right? It's Botman. Botman to Galamesh. He plays the long ball over the top. Kieran Tierney's there. But equally, so is Aaron Ramsdale. Has a little tussle with Aaron Mahon. But he says, not today. Not in my house. Not in my house. Arsenal. So who we got in the chat there? Hello, Jack. How you doing? Smash that like, Jack. Make sure you smash that like. We can get more people in the chat. If you watched on TikTok, come over. Don't be shy. Join us in the chat. Did anyone go for a 2-0 score prediction? I went for a 2-1. Still 5 minutes to go, plus added on time, so there could be another goal. Eddie and Reese coming on. Eddie and Reese about to come on. Reese Nelson about to come on with 5 minutes left for Gabriel Jesus. And Eddie Nketiah is coming on as well. So it's Reese Nelson for Bukayo Saka, who has been a bit quiet today, but was involved in the goal. Bukayo Saka is coming off for Reese Nelson, and Gabriel Jesus has been an engine, a vocal point today. Not his best game, but he's done a job. He comes off for Eddie Nketiah. Can Eddie Nketiah put this game to bed? Make something of this game? Can he make a difference in this game? Can he put his stamp on this game? Is what I was looking for. There we go. Free kick straight away as soon as he comes on. That's his stamp. Didn't literally mean stamp, Eddie. Sorry, lost in translation. Newcastle play it out at the back. They're continuing to go to try and get a goal with just over 5 minutes left of the normal time. Sure. Plays that ball, a long ball over the top once again. Gabriel Jesus. Xhaka deals with that nicely. Then Gabriel Jesus passes that to Kieran Tierney. And then an absolute dank from Xhaka. Oh, get off. Desperate. Come on, Eddie. Get the fucking football ball there, mate. Matty Target's on. St. Maximin. What's he going to do? He hasn't made much of an impact since he's coming in the game so far. But there's always time. Same with Anthony Gardner. He's not really had much of the ball to make an impact. Out to Kieran Trippier. He's been marshalled there by Leandro Trossard. Dan Burn, the big towering figure of Dan Burn. Straight out, no nonsense there from Kieran Tierney. Trippier again, still prodding and probing at Arsenal's defence, but to no avail. Kieran Tierney says, no nonsense, straight out. Get it out. Get it out. Still, the pressure is applied by Newcastle United. Out to the wing to Alan Saint-Maximin. He's on his toes like he's ready to pounce like a cobra with a piece of skill, but nothing. Spreads it out wide to Chiarantini, to Bruno Garamesh. It's a bit of in the box, but it's out wide. It came to nothing. Who have Arsenal got next? I want to say Nottingham Forest. It might even be Brighton. But it's Nottingham Forest soon. Get it out! Oh! Our next game is against Brighton, and then we've got Nottingham Forest and then Wolves. I think that's why I said that. I've got the fixtures right in front of me. Sorry, there's a couple of comments in there, the comment section. What do you think of Arteta? I think he's one of the best managers in the league. Brighton, Nottingham Forest, and Wolves last game. Yes, a tricky game next. And it depends where Nottingham Forest are and Wolves both in a relegation battle. So no game's an easy game. Mr. Cliche right now. I'm dropping just cliche after cliche bombing. I'm cliche bombing. There's no easy matches. Take one game at a time. Maxim's hair is so bad. Like that's a bad, very, very bad haircut. He's got too much time on his hands. Hey, Gadamesh desperately tries an audacious 30-yard chip.
Really absorbing match. Who's your player of it? Yeah, the player of the match is that man.
Jorginho.
So important.
Yeah, he's giving it to Jorginho. It doesn't surprise me that he's given it to Jorginho. He's marshalled that midfield. He's held it together. He's been an absolute staple in there. He's been very, very good, Jorginho.
All day long, he's been demonstrating to the rest of his teammates.
Ref, he's got him in a headlock, Ref, are you joking? Oh my God, I can't believe we just witnessed that.
It's a match that's still got 5 minutes to run. So maximum.
Eddie Nketiah is in a headlock, and the referee says play on. I'm confused as to what game we're playing here, because this I didn't think this was Aussie rules football. Oof. What are you trying to get? You're on camera there.
Really well. 2 or 3 good saves.
What are you trying to sneak in?
Both understand it's George Kessel at the moment, but both with credentials.
What are you trying to get? Laptop? This one?
He could have scored more goals. More goalkeepers made fantastic saves. Some maximum.
Ramsdale's been excellent today as well. WWE now. This is what I mean. You see that? Did you see that, Jack? That was a joke. I can't believe that. I'm stunned the referee didn't give that. I think Nottingham Forest will go down. Yeah, if the games if they're done by that point, they will. And the thing is, you know how them games go. If they go down early doors, then the win gets knocked out from them. They don't really fight back. It's for them ones. It's like if we get the first goal, then it's on. Yeah, the ref's a joke. He's been. I see what he's trying to do. He's trying to have it say he's not blowing up every second, but that's a foul. See that cheer from Benny Blanco there? Love that. Ah!
holding firm.
Clean sheets! Clean sheets! Clean sheets!
That's what you want your goalkeeper to do when you're in these circumstances as Arsenal find themselves in.
Definitely.
Clean sheets!
He'll be so happy and so proud of his players today.
Well, they have Doug
Arsenal needed to go to St James's Park, and nothing but a victory was enough. They've done that. They have done that. The ball is now in Manchester City's court. The pressure is now on Arsenal. Oh, it's now Manchester City is what I meant to say. Come on, Arsenal. Keep the pressure on. Ref, they're frustrated, ref. Come on, ref. What is this? It's getting silly now. It's getting silly. Ref. Don't mess with Eddie Nketiah. The brother is from Lewisham. Do not mess with Eddie Nketiah. He is a Lewisham boy. Do not mess with Eddie Nketiah. He may be nice and sweet, yeah, but don't take his sweetness for weakness. Don't take his sweetness for weakness. Don't do that. Don't do that. Because you'll be caught slipping. You'll be caught slipping if you want to start catching his sweetness for a weakness. It ain't that. It ain't that. He is about it, trust me. Eddie knows the roads. Come from Lewisham, you're about it. No soft people around there. Even the soft ones from around there in the normal world ain't normal. We know the South is different. It's the Wild West out there. Arsenal must have a PhD in all these tests they do if they had to pass. Exactly. Even Garth knows.
Just keep the ball here, Arsenal. The punt has gone into traffic. Xhaka.
Ref, that's a double footer, ref. Ref. That was a double footer. Are you having me on? Are you having me on, ref?
Yeah. It's just whether he followed through with it. Just the style of the challenge was a little bit nasty.
Ref, come on, man. It's getting silly. It's getting silly. We're going to put that one up there. Well done, Arsenal. Well done, Arsenal. As Garth said, Arsenal must have a PhD after all the tests they had passed. Another test, another win. Come and join us for the post-match reaction and the player ratings. Arsenal 2, Newcastle 0. Top, solid win for Arsenal. They needed it. Excellent results. I'm hearing in. My phone is absolutely popping right now. 1.7k likes on the chat. Love it. Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm rhyming like the cat in the hat at the moment. I've been infected by Dr. Zeus. What's going on? What is going on? Right, I've got to go, lad. Nice one, Jack. Appreciate the support. Appreciate the view there, mate. Love that. Make sure you come back next time. All right. We're going to be doing the player ratings afterwards and have a little breakdown of the game. Arsenal.
There's an old saying, you're up there for a reason.
I've always liked Arsenal. Gary Neville. Talking about Arsenal. Come on, Arsenal. Arsenal 2. Newcastle 0. All right, we're in the player ratings now. We are in the player ratings. Let's have a look at Arsenal. Arsenal, is it 1 point off the top in the league? Manchester City currently hold that top spot with 82 points. Arsenal on 81. The pressure is still on. They are going game by game. 3 games left for Arsenal. Gabriel Magalhaes hyping up the crowd after a big win. A big win. Arsenal, after suffering 4 games without a win, 3 draws and a loss. 2 of those games where they were 2-0 up and lost the lead. 1 of those games they were 2 goals down. against the bottom of the league. Arsenal's season at that point, many must have felt that the season was over, but still they're plugging away. A win against Chelsea, a 2-0 victory against Newcastle United. People were writing off every team that Arsenal are putting on in front of them. Now this is Newcastle, a team that is massively in form. Arsenal cannot be written off. That is a great result. That is a message to everyone else as well. Newcastle have put other teams away. Manchester United, other teams have struggled against Newcastle, and today Arsenal answered every single question. Yes, it was a bit shaky at points. The first 15 minutes was nerve-wracking as hell. They kept on passing it back to Newcastle time and time again, giving away the ball. But they kept on plugging away, and as soon as they got that goal, like against Chelsea, that was it. That was it. They kept on pushing. They let Newcastle get in the game as well. Arsenal had to ride their luck a few times. Newcastle hit the post twice, but still Arsenal kept plugging away. Ramsdale put away 3 excellent saves. Excellent saves. One of them 4 yards out from a header from the defender. Excellent. But again, a couple of shaky performances throughout, but the rest of the team picked up the slack where they dropped it. I'm joined by Steve K. How you doing, Steve? Great result. What's your thoughts?
Yeah, great result, mate. I loved that performance today. I loved it. I loved everything. I loved the fight. I loved the way we played. We kept the ball a lot more than we have recently. All those people would keep Man United fans, Tottenham fans, Chelsea's fans. I'd really just go on holiday now if I were you. Just pack up now, go on holiday, or just leave Arsenal alone out of it, because I think we proved today that this side's got massive bottle. There was a few players who we'll get to, but was really disappointed. But I just loved that performance today. It showed that our team, you can't mess with them anymore. Newcastle basically don't like it up them, do they? They don't like it back.
Yeah,
we was giving it to them like they was giving it to us at the Emirates. So when we come to you and beat you 2-0 on your own pitch where you don't get beat, and players like our players were giving it to you, you didn't like it, and that's poor for me. Because Newcastle are a really good side, and for me that was. The elbows going in all the time.
I was a bit surprised.
Very poor.
I was a bit surprised from the referee that he allowed some of that, because I could see what he was doing with regards to he didn't want to start the game. But I don't know if you saw it with like about 2 minutes left of the game, where Eddie Nketiah was basically in a headlock, and the referee still didn't give a free kick. It was ludicrous. Yeah. I couldn't believe it. He just wouldn't give anything in the end.
But where's VAR? VAR, he should have had 3 players sent off, kids.
Oh, that double foot at the end from target.
Yeah, what's
frustrated challenge?
It's poor, and it's sad because I like Newcastle and they've played some great football this season, but they let themselves down today a bit.
They threw their toys out the pram.
They let themselves down a bit. They exactly that. They threw their toys out the pram. Yeah. And Arsenal just showed their quality. They showed what they're made of. They showed, that Newcastle still got a hell of a long way to get to the level of Arsenal. I think we showed that at the Emirates, and we obviously went there today with what was in mind and what happened last season there, where we sort of didn't turn up. Well, boy, did they turn up today, because they was excellent today. Yeah.
They were excellent today. As you said, you loved the performance. It was a gritty performance.
Yeah.
It was. Look, it wasn't tidy from most of the players. There's probably about 5 players that were really good. 2 that were exceptional throughout. I thought probably 3. I'd say I have to add Ramsdale to the other 2, which I thought was Martin Odegaard and Jorginho. I thought they were brilliant, all 3 of them, because Ramsdale's made 2 vital saves at very important points, especially the one of once again I mentioned it the other day on the Super Six podcast. I worry about Arsenal leaking goals early, and 1 minute in, they've hit the post, and it's basically come off of we weren't closing them down.
Yeah, and it was never a penalty. Just to add to that,
it was never a penalty. The referee was very quick to give that. Very quick to give that penalty there, and it was never a penalty. They didn't even hit his hand. That's what I was screaming at. I was like, "It's hit his leg. It's hit his leg. It's not even hit his hand." And when we saw the VAR, which I thought again he took so long to make his decision, I thought he was going to override it in the end.
Yeah. But what was good, like you said, we got caught early. They hit the post. They got the penalty. You was worried about them. But it just shows the character of the side and why we're sitting 1 point behind Man City. To come back from that and to not let it bother us. To be fair to them, okay, a couple of games this season we've struggled, but you expect that over a season. But for most of the season, this has been Arsenal's season.
Yeah,
how many times have we been on post matches where teams have scored a goal against us, and I've said time and time again, just don't bother us. We just come back. It doesn't bother us. We can't pick out 2 particular games of a season and all of a sudden think that Arsenal got a different character, which is what some rival fans do, don't know. Oh, look, they 2 games, they were terrible in them 2 games, so Arsenal bottlers and Arsenal just this, that, and the other. But it's ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. We don't pay no mind to those fans because they've been ready to dig out Arsenal at the halfway point in the league. They were saying that if Arsenal don't win this league, they're the biggest bottle jobs ever. At halfway through the season, it's ludicrous. But the thing that I think Arsenal did really well today was at those points when Newcastle were on the ascendancy and were hitting the post and getting chances. We rode those chances. We rode out the pressure, and then we scored. That knocked the wind out of Newcastle. So the first time it knocked the wind out of Newcastle, and we got another chance as well. And we got a few chances in that first half. We finished off after the early pressure. We finished off that half. We probably should have been about 3 or 4 up. Which it really quietened the fans. Then they came out straight out the blocks in the second half, and I was like, "Oh no!" So I was a bit worried there because again, not a great start from Arsenal. Again, not
everybody played well today, Kears. We're praising them, and not everybody played well today.
No, they didn't.
We played. We were over the whole performance, and because of certain players in certain areas. Yeah. I think they got them out of jail. Some of them.
They did.
Because some of them will be going through to the post. Some of them ain't going to get very high marks.
Yeah. Well, I said before you come on. Not everyone played well, but the players that didn't play well, the other players picked up the slack, and that's what's going to happen. In games, especially towards the end of the season, when the pressure's on or injuries are starting to sort of catch up on people when they're not playing at 100%, there are going to be games. Most of the games are going to be not everyone's playing well. You're only going to get it here and there for the last 10 games of the season. But what you need is people picking up the slack, people covering those bases. We've seen it earlier on in the season where Ramsdale weren't in great form, but the defenders covered his goal. They covered him for those games. In those games when we were not playing great against Southampton, when we dropped the ball against West Ham, Ramsdale wasn't having great games, and our defenders weren't having great games, and that's where it needs to win. That balance needs to be made up, but we done it today. And that's happened earlier in the season as well. We've had many games like this during the season. Not every game that we've played we've played 10s, we've played excellent. But we've had most of the games we've had when someone's not playing well, the others have. All right, let's get on to the player ratings now. Anyone who's in the chat, make sure you get your player ratings in. If you're watching over here, make sure you get your players in as well. He says, Connor says, I like Arsenal and I start on top and finish second. Yeah, here we go. Xhaka was immense and showed discipline. I thought Xhaka was all right. His performance was bitty. I thought that he did show definite discipline. He definitely showed discipline because they're. Oh my words!
Yeah.
Oh my word!
We'll get.
I thought
we'll get to Xhaka.
I thought he was going to get involved too much, fling his arms about.
You probably think like my Mark's probably be a bit too high when we get to Xhaka, but I just it's me. I just love that type of player as well as like him. But we'll get to him anyway. But,
all right, Aaron Ramsdale.
I mean, Aaron Ramsdale today was absolutely outstanding today. He made 2 absolutely world-class saves. And, when you talk about, especially recently, in recent games, especially against Chelsea and other games where he's kept us in matches, against Liverpool as well, that unbelievable save. He's got to be on his way for the best goalkeeper in the league this season, surely. Surely he has to be. But he was fantastic today. Killed the game when he had to, held on to the ball. His distribution was very good today. But 2 world-class saves for me today. Just as important, as the goals. They were just as important as the goals are. When I was watching these saves, I was thinking to myself that was as good as a goal. That save. So and he done 2 of them. And also on top of that, he made other saves as well. So it's a 9 for me today for Ramsdale.
Ramsdale gets us 9. Some important saves there from Aaron Ramsdale. Steve gives him a 9 there. One of the standout ones was from the header from short range, with an opportunity to equalise there, and Aaron Ramsdale pulls it off. A great save there to keep it at 1-0 at that point. Vital saves at vital moments. Gabriel Magalhaes at centre back.
Yeah, I thought he played well today. I thought he was a lot better than what he has been in recent weeks, because he's not been up to the usual Gabriel standards over the last few weeks. But today he was a much better. Good. I can't remember too much wrong with him. They didn't really. Newcastle, they had some chances, but they mainly came from other areas. He dealt with mostly everything that he should have done. So for me, Gabriel gets a 7 today.
Jakob Kiwior for his 2nd start in the Premier League after a very good game against Chelsea,
and another very good game today. I thought. I thought he did really well. I think he's getting better and better as it goes on. He again very similar to Gabriel. I don't remember him making too many mistakes. Newcastle were always going to come at us and put us under pressure. But I felt he dealt with what he had to pretty well. He's a lot more mobile than Holding. And like when a sort of player spins off him, or someone's running at him, he's more liable either to keep up with him or get in that final tackle than probably what Holding is. I'm looking forward to seeing more of him.
Yes, I think he's very. He looks like he could be a very good player, a very good signing. Like you said, he's mobile, can move with the ball. His recovery is very good. We saw that a few times against Chelsea. His timing of tackles very good. I do worry that he may be a bit rash sometimes. I'm hoping he's not. I was worried about that today, and he wasn't at all. So, I thought he had a very good game today.
Yeah, he did. Yeah. So I'll give him a 7 as well.
All right, 7 for
Gabriel.
Jakob Kiwior. I give him
he's probably, I think, he's probably a little bit better than Gabriel, but
he was.
7.
Benny Blanco today, not so Benny Blanco. It's a bit
was
Benny Manco at sometimes.
Yeah, it was. Whether that was something to do with someone else not having a really good game either, down that right hand side, who I thought was very quiet. He's forward. Didn't really get, mind you, maybe he was told not to go forward as much as what he normally does. We're used to seeing Ben White getting further up the pitch. That was a bit non-existent today. We never see that. at all. So maybe there may have been something planned for that. Maybe he was told to stay deeper because of watching Isaac and Wilson and other players on that left-hand side. But other than that, he was all right. He wasn't a disaster. He didn't have I wouldn't say he had a bad game. He was a little bit sloppy at times, got caught with players running behind him. But yeah, they're a difficult side to come up against. So I'm going to give him a 6.
No, 6 for Ben White. Yeah, no, I don't think he had a great game. He's had better.
What would you say, 5?
Yeah.
Or are you going lower than?
No, I wouldn't go lower than a 5. 6. I'm trying to think. Did he have much defend? Did he defend well much, or did he get the ball in the box?
Yeah, it was good tackle towards the end there.
I think it was just a tough game for him. But I think that was more so going forward than at the back. So I'd probably say 6 is fair. I don't think he was poor at the back. I think he's his forward play. His passing wasn't great at all. There was a couple of times when the ball came to him and his touch was terrible and it just went off for a throw. I think it was more that than anything for Ben White.
Yeah, I agree.
Someone who didn't have a great game got tugged in the end. Zinchenko. I thought that Zinchenko would start. Is this time for Kieran Tierney to come into the team now?
It certainly is, mate. I think it is.
Big games left. The inverted fullback isn't quite working. If the fullback part of it isn't working, which is defensive side, he's been off. I thought today at points he wasn't even getting back into position, and he was neglecting his fullback duties and just sitting in the middle and waiting for someone else to do his job so that he could just be in there in the middle on the break. And once you get into that mode, it's time to bring Kieran Tierney in for me.
Yeah, I mean, I echo everything you said there, Kiers. Very, very disappointing performance today from Zinchenko. I don't like to come on here and but it's been quite a few weeks now. I think it could be like 3 or 4 times now becoming. I think if any other,
you've got to say since the West Ham game and even maybe before that.
Even before that,
because he come back of 2 Player of the Month trophies, so he had a good start to the new year, a really good start after come back from his injury as well.
Yeah,
but this last few games, probably about the West Ham game, he's been, and maybe the Liverpool game, he's been a bit off.
Yeah. No, I agree. I totally agree with you, mate. It's I don't know what it is. He's just been very poor recently. It's just it's time for a change now. I was thinking when I was watching actually the game, I was thinking the first thing that came into my head watching that game is if anybody else had so many bad games in that position, would they be starting?
No.
I thought, if Xhaka had 4 terrible games like that, would he be starting? So that worries me about Tierney's future. I'm thinking, why has he been? But then again, I think today was worse than I've ever seen him than all the others.
He can't start him in the next game. He never takes Zinchenko off, especially that early in the game. And he
wasn't surprised. Was you? Was you surprised?
I blinked and I saw Kieran Tierney on the pitch. I was like, "What? When did Zinchenko come on?"
But I was nodding when I see.
Yeah, when I
see it was 57 minutes, I think it was, and I see Tierney with his shirt tucked in. I'm saying, take your shirt out, Kieran, for God's sake. Sort that out, mate. You're doing all the modelling on like Arsenal.com with all the gear, and you got your shirt tucked in your shorts, mate, when you come out. It's not a good thing, mate. You got to change that. You got to sort that out, mate. I'm an old man, and I can do just better than that.
He loves it.
He does, doesn't it? He don't care. But we love him. I love Kieran. Anyway, look, Zinchenko, mate. I'm not being harsh. I mean, he was on a free. I mean, literally, and that sounds real. I don't know if that's too harsh, but I don't think it is. He put us at risk so time after time after time. I don't know what people in the comments think. People that watch the game, people on Twitter. If you are, let us know. But I just thought he was awful in every single aspect, and I feel really bad saying that because I love him. But for me, yeah, I got to give him a 3.
She'll give him a what? Sorry,
3.
3 for Zinchenko.
Is
Is
that
probably the
harsh?
lowest score of the season. He was poor today. I think he was worse in. Was it the Southampton game? He was so bad in one of these games. I can't remember what it was, but it was. It was frustrating, and it's not fair. I would get into the point where I'm a bit miffed if I'm seeing Zinchenko constantly getting picked over me when I'm seeing him.
If Kieran's Tierney started next week, then I don't know.
Yeah, I worry for Kieran Tierney if he doesn't get a start in the next game. It's against Brighton, so it's going to be a big decision for him. A big decision for him.
Yeah. I mean, the good thing was that Arteta was seeing exactly what me and you were seeing. Get him off. Yeah. Get him off.
Jorginho.
mate. Jorginho. Mate, absolutely out.
Man of the match today and deserved it as well.
Did he get man of the match?
Yeah.
He was incredible. He absolutely he's just he's a big game player, isn't he? You know, and all these Arsenal fans that were like slagging him off and he's a Chelsea reject. I mean, what are they saying now? The geezer's an absolute star.
I'll tell you what they're saying now. They're saying, yes, boys, I'm dreaming. I love him, Jorginho, and he's saying that he was saying he had shit for brains, is what Simon was saying. So
I was just about to say, I bet Simon weren't saying that when he bought him.
No, and he's openly admitted it, and he says he was an idiot. So there you go.
But he was outstanding today, mate. You know, we see him shouting, and he was all over the pitch. What is all this stuff about? He's not mobile. He looked mobile to me. Excuse my French. He was everywhere.
Yeah.
But when he gets that ball, Kears, he never gives it away. Never, ever gives it away. And he knows where to put the ball. It's like having. Do you know what it's like? It's like having a Dennis Bergkamp in the DM position. That's Jorginho. That's the best way I can, because he knows exactly what he's going to do with that ball before it gets to him.
Mm-hmm.
He never takes like more than 1-2 touches. 9 times out of 10, it's one touch. It's just bing, bang, bosh. Even if he knows what's behind him. He knows what's going on up front.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, mate. It was a perfect performance. He ain't far off a 10.
Johnny's given Jorginho a 10. He says G-O-R-G-I-N-O 1-0. 10, the big 1-0. And Steve has followed suit. Jorginho, the man of the match, the man of the hour. Will his goal against Aston Villa make a difference? Will his performance today make a difference in the Premier League title race? 3 games left.
Thank you, Chelsea. Thank you for taking Madrid, and thank you for giving us Jorginho.
And thank you, because yes, we also got Trossard in there as well. Granit Xhaka.
I love Granit Xhaka. I just love him. He's I'm going to call him now Mr. Shithousery. You know, because you need Granit Xhaka in your team. You know, for me, he's first on the team sheet every bloody week, this geezer. You know, you've got to have I thought he had a decent game. I thought he played well. But the shithousery for me deserves another mark because he was winding up the Newcastle players like nobody's business.
Who was getting wound up by Kieran Trippier as well? I can't remember who it was, but all I kept saying was
Jesus. Was it
Jesus? Was it Jesus?
Jesus with his face a lot.
He said, all I was saying was keep on going because he's going to burst in a minute because he was getting well frustrated that Newcastle hadn't scored. And he just kept on going at him and going at him and going at him. And I was like, yes, he's gonna get a yellow card soon. He didn't, but it didn't matter.
Yeah, but no, I thought Xhaka was really good today. What's Johnny giving? Johnny's giving an 8. I was going to give him an 8 as well. yeah, again, excellent performance. Yeah, you, Jackie and Jorginho. Who would have thought it? You know, a few months ago. You know that I'm certainly saying that probably should be the partnership now to the end of the season. You know, just keep going with it. You know, as far as I'm concerned. And who would have said that Partey would be the one looking from the sidelines? You know, hoping that one of them, you know, to come on to shore things up. You know, you would have never thought it, but Xhaka just seems to always be there. And Jorginho, I think, deserves his place next week without any shadow of a doubt.
He does after that man of the match performance away to Newcastle as well. Martin Odegaard scored the goal when it matters. Arsenal against the run of play at that time as well. Were very nervous. Newcastle were tenacious, aggressive in the challenge, and they hit the post and put Arsenal under pressure. But a drop of the shoulder and a tuck in the bottom corner turned the game on its head completely, didn't it?
Oh yeah, it was a fantastic finish. Absolute fantastic goal. Just took the balls by the horns and and smashed it. And if people were saying that what Kevin De Bruyne did against Arsenal when he picked that ball up and smashed it in the coat, you know, Odegaard just went and go have some of that. I'll do that and all. But I'll do that 4 years earlier. You know, you wait until I'm 28, mate. You know, see what I'm doing. Because this kid's a star, and that first half he was absolutely outstanding. He was incredible. He was all over the pitch. Where Newcastle came at us early, he was the one who was like, no, you know, we're still going to go up there. We're still going to start, you know, play our game. I could see him talking to the players, doing his captain duties. Absolutely outstanding. His passing, his vision, his finishing. Fantastic. Again, 9 for me today for Odegaard. Oh, Kieran's gone. Yep. Well, what would you give Martin Odegaard? Johnny's giving him an 8. An 8. An 8. Okay, Johnny's giving him an 8. Kieran's back.
I don't know what happened there. Martin Odegaard with a 9. Yeah, another goal. Was it 15 goals this season for Martin Odegaard from attacking field? All those people that wanted James Maddison. Where are you now? Where's Where are you now?
I know where James Maddison is. He's sitting second bottom of the league. That's where James Maddison is.
Gabriel Martinelli. A game which was, I don't know, a bit stop-start for him, I felt.
Yeah, I didn't think he had a good game. I know he did. He did well when he, for the goal when he done his little bit of jigging and crossed it, and luckily some people say it came off him share and it went in the goal. But I thought, other than that, I thought he was poor. To be honest with you, he was a bit.
He's very poor in the first half.
Yeah, very poor. He was sort of non-existent. He was just nothing from him. I think even though he did well for the goal, I'm still going to just give him a 5.
All right, 5 for Martinelli. I think that's fair, to be fair. Another player who had a bit of a very much an on-off game was Bukayo Saka.
Yeah, I think he was very similar to Martinelli in the first half, sort of really non-existent. When you think of it, do you know what I mean? Was he just as bad as Martinelli? As he probably was. There probably weren't a lot to choose between the two of them.
I thought that Martinelli was sloppy, whereas I think that Saka wasn't in the game and wasn't, when he was on the ball, he wasn't really much of a threat.
No,
I don't think he was running at the defenders enough, and he was getting hacked a lot. That's what I noticed. There's a fair few times when it, especially at the end when Bruno Galamesh in the second half, it was his third foul. And how he didn't get a yellow card for that, I do not know. It was a joke. It was getting beyond the joke at that point. Yeah,
I can't believe he was still on the pitch, that Guimaraes, to be honest with you. Did he get a yellow card at all in the game?
He didn't get a yellow card in the end. I don't think he got a yellow card.
That's crazy. That's absolute crazy. But yeah. Saka, I'll give him a 5. Just thought he didn't do much.
Yeah.
this is what I'm talking about. There was players like Zinchenko, Saka, Martinelli, who really didn't really play today. They didn't turn up for a big game like that. And I think you have to take that into consideration when you're doing your marks, because, that's poor when you think of it. You think if those three would have turned up, you don't know what. We could have ended up coming away with a 5-0 win or something. But
yeah. Gabriel Jesus.
Yeah, I thought Gabriel Jesus worked hard. It was a workmanlike performance from Gabriel Jesus today. So it was just a good game from him. He's closing down. He's excellent. He's, again, like I said, he's loved the way he winds people up.
He was chasing back all the way to our defence at one point.
Yeah, he was up for it today. He was up for it, and it's not. He probably knew that when you go to somewhere like Newcastle, you're not going to get many chances. So he may have to change his game and do something different to help the team, and he certainly did that. As I say, not really a threat up the forward line, but other than that, did everything possible that he could to help the team in other areas of the pitch, and was a big part of us going ahead and winning the game. So I'll give him a 7.
7 for Gabriel Jesus. Kieran Tierney. You had about nearly half a game there.
Yeah, and I thought he done really well when he came on. Obviously, when he came on, you're straight away, as we're all Kieran Tierney fans, and we're all sort of hoping that he plays well and does well. He always looks fed up before he come on. And I'm thinking, oh, come on, I hope you're up for this. But when he come on the pitch, I felt safer straight away as soon as he come on the pitch. He got a couple of tackles in. He don't jump in. There was times when he was like, he's just stayed strong, stood up, let players run at him, and they ended up not getting their cross across or whatever. He made a couple of really good interceptions when he came on. So you could tell that he switched on straight away as soon as he comes off the pitch. And for me, he's got to start. If he don't start next week, I'll be absolutely baffled if he doesn't start next week. Absolutely.
Yeah, the only thing that's making me think that potentially Kieran Tierney doesn't start starting the next game is because it's Brighton and they're a very technical team. And if you're on paper, you'd probably look at that game and think that's probably a game for Zinchenko. However,
he's had four.
It could play in our favour playing a Kieran Tierney, because where they do not necessarily have their wingers tucked in against on the bylines, and it may leave gaps. They may have their fullbacks may be getting forward. It may leave gaps. So maybe Kieran Tierney does get a chance. I hope he does. Because I think he deserves a chance after Zinchenko's had 4 very poor to average performances.
I'll tell you what as well. They've got to keep this geezer for next season. If he goes, that would be a terrible, terrible decision. Even if Kieran Tierney wants to go, I think Arteta's got to turn around and say, I know you're not going.
Yeah.
I mean, I know it's not his way with Arteta. He's similar to Pep, where he goes, he's got this way of thinking where if a player doesn't want to be there, then you can go. I don't care what contract you're on. If you're not, in with the team, then leave, whether you're on a 6-year, 1 year, or your contract ends at the end of the season. But I really think on this occasion, he's got to just say.
Yeah, well, there's a difference. There's a difference between a player saying he wants to leave and a player that's slightly disgruntled and wants more game time. This is that part of his management. This is part of where he earns his salary, because he's got to keep those players happy. And I'm sure Pep has had to do it many times. Look at Nathan Ake. Nathan Ake's a player for the past how many seasons weren't really getting games here and there, and he comes in this season, he's one of their best players, one of their best defenders. And how many times have we thought that Nathan Ake is going to be sold or would want to leave and go to another team, or was potentially going back to Chelsea?
Went instead.
And Cancelo went, and this is where you've got to keep those players sweet. You've got to give them. This is where he's got to find the balance and get Kieran Tierney more game time. This is where he's got to make sure that he motivates those teams in the Carabao Cup and in the FA Cup, because Kieran Tierney and whoever's going to be second fiddle to the first team regulars are going to get game times, because he likes to keep a tight squad. He likes to keep it's the same 11. So if you're going to do that, you've got to find ways and means of rotating and getting players minutes, because they're going to get frustrated. What are you giving Tierney?
7. Thought it was very good.
7 for Kieran Tierney. Who else came on? Trossard.
Yeah, Trossard. I'm not too sure how long. It didn't feel like he was on for long. Just a standard 6.
6. Party.
Yeah, I don't remember him on the pitch really. 5.
Who else came on? Nketiah.
Eddie. Yeah, I thought Eddie done all right. Was running in the channels, got stuck in, took the ball into the corners a couple of times, had that little bit of a fracas in the corner with Cher. Pushed him. I don't know if he was thinking that Eddie, because of his size, was going to back down. But
no, I think it's because Eddie's a nice kid that they think he's going to back down. But he's from South East, mate. He don't back down. He's a Lewisham boy.
Eddie ain't going to have
don't
that.
Mess around. He's not going to have that.
Have that. When he was pushed, I was like, "Don't stand for that." But he went as soon as he walked up to him, got right in his face and pushed him back. Arsenal got a bit of that now. They got a bit of that about them. Do you know what I mean? They ain't going to take any of that, from anybody. And I think, like as you mentioned with Xhaka, he does calm himself a lot more now. He seems to know when he gets to that level and then to sort of calm down. Although he did have to be pulled away a few times today, a couple of times. But Eddie 6. Yeah.
Eddie gets a 6. I think Reece Nelson came on, didn't
he? Yeah, 6. I should give Party a 6 as well. I know it's a bit harsh when it giving him a 5.
Johnny gave him a 4. Johnny, what was the 4 for Party for?
Oh, right.
I didn't see him do anything wrong. I didn't see him do anything wrong. What was the 4 for Party for, Johnny? What was you not happy with Party about?
He must have seen something.
Oh, he must have seen something. For a 4. Mikel Arteta.
Yeah, it's got to be a 10, isn't it, today? Got to be a 10. He said Arsenal got to dig in. Brilliant win against Chelsea the other day, and then come to Newcastle away, where everybody was saying, "Oh, this is the one where Arsenal are going to fall." Nobody beats Newcastle at their ground. La 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 la. Well, we proved them wrong. And yeah, we another test. But I think we can forget about them tests now. But it was excellent today. Bought Zinchenko off at the right time. I feel that was a good decision. Obviously, he's got a lot of sentiments towards Zinchenko. Obviously knowing him from Man City, but you can just show he ain't. If he feels that he needs to come off, he'll come off. He ain't got won't have no qualms about that. So yeah, fantastic from Mikel Arteta today. 2-0, one of the hardest places to go to in the Premier League. Clean sheet. Yeah, without one of their main defenders as well. Brought in Jorginho on Party, which some people said that he shouldn't do. Got to be a 10 out of 10.
Once again, I think one thing that people need to notice is Arsenal are learning from their mistakes. Last season, they went to Newcastle, got battered physically and mentally, and then came out with a loss. They also lost and dropped points to Tottenham at a vital time last season, but this season they've gone and got them points. They've got points against Chelsea. They've got points against Newcastle. Now let's hope next season they can take this and get those points against Manchester City. Start getting points against some of their bogey teams, mental things, get them out of the way. And then we will push on for the league again, because I do not think, like what many people are trying to imply, is that this is Arsenal's best opportunity because of the position that they've got themselves into right now. But it doesn't mean that next season everyone else is going to be better. It's just because everyone said that last season.
People say that every season.
It's like last season. Oh my god, the pre-match preview to this game, yeah. All it was, clearly the press is coming with their narrative, which was, this is Arsenal's best opportunity to win the league because everyone else is going to be better next season. That is all they kept asking Mikel Arteta. That is the only thing they kept asking him, and he kept on batting it away. Yes, this is the best opportunity for Arsenal to win the league because they're currently 1 point behind Manchester City, and Manchester City have got a game in hand. This is the closest we've been to winning the league in years, so of course it's the best opportunity. And I'll tell you what,
the best Manchester City side we've seen for a long while as well, I think.
Haaland, it's a joke, and they could potentially go on to win the Champions League as well. So when everyone keeps saying this is a season where everyone's been poor, the team that's been there every season for the last 6 or 7 years have been breathing down anyone's necks who even tries to attempt to take this league, are still there and are still putting in the numbers, are still the same bar that they come with every season. So forget about everyone else and how good they've been. The main other contenders are the bar, and we've matched them.
And I'll tell you what,
give Arsenal a bit more respect.
Sorry. Yeah, absolutely, mate. Absolutely. And I'll tell you what. Have a look at Man City's remaining fixtures and have a look at ours. I'm telling you, I would rather our fixtures than theirs going into this back end of the season.
On the board. They've got the points on the board,
yeah.
though.
Don't draw against City, though. Don't draw against Everton, though, will you? They draw against Everton. Then they've got to go away to Brighton. They've got to go away to Brentford, away to Brighton, away to Brentford, and away to Everton. And they've got to play Real Madrid twice. All right? I'll tell you.
I'll tell you game on, Arsenal fans. Do not give up. Do not give up.
Would you want to play those? Would you want to go away to Brentford, Brighton?
Look, we just need to concentrate on ourselves. We're
back in it.
Brighton at home. Brighton at home next. Nottingham Forest and then Wolves. Win the next 3 games, Arsenal, and then the ball is in Manchester City's court. Can they keep up this form? We don't know. But we are going to ask those questions.
If Man City come out and they win those games like bosh, then they deserve every plaudit. Every plaudit.
100%.
And for us, and that makes it, obviously we'll be disappointed we don't win the title, but that for them to be able to say, Man City to go, because I'll tell you what, Man City fans, Pep, them players, after watching that today, they're like, whoa. Whoa.
People have written off Arsenal.
Let's see how their pressure. See how they really deal with pressure now. With 2 games against Real Madrid whacked in the middle of that. Let's see.
Many people wrote off Arsenal after the bad run of form, and it's easy to turn around and say City have won the league. All right, but the reason why I say you can't say it's done. It's the same as the way as the players. I won't say it's done. It's the same as the way Manchester City players will not be thinking it's done. Manchester City fans will not be thinking it's done. They'll be thinking, now Arsenal put the pressure on us again. We've got to win now. We've got to. It's not a foregone conclusion with Manchester City fans or players. It's everyone else that's thinking that. It's all the other fans that are thinking it's done. Yeah, they've won. Man City will be nervous right now because they know they have to go in. They have not got, Arsenal have not given them any room to manoeuvre, and that's
all you can ask, mate. All we can say,
exactly
all Arsenal fans, what Arsenal have done now, they're going to say you do not need, you can't slip up in that next game because your games after that are mega hard.
Yeah.
You know, and what Arsenal have done today is like what they said after the game. What they have done today, Arsenal, they've said to Man City, you can't rest players for the Real Madrid for the Everton game.
Yeah, exactly.
Doesn't matter what
exactly.
doesn't matter what happened in that Real Madrid game. Don't worry about that. I don't care. Whatever goes on, because they've got to go. They've had to go away to Real Madrid. They've got to come back no matter what. While Arsenal can just sit back, and you've got to put your best side out there. Against Everton, right?
Exactly.
And that's all you can ask.
It's little things like that, making sure that Manchester City can't rest players against Everton or Real Madrid or whatever they're going to do. They've got no option now. They have to put out a full strength squad. They have to be mentally ready for every game. There's no let-offs. There's no, we've got a little bit of leeway here or there. They haven't. And this is what we ask for as fans as well, to keep it going to the end of the season, to keep it entertaining, to make sure seasons count to the end.
Do you know who plays first, Kiz?
What?
With who plays first out of Arsenal and people in the comments? Do you know? People who
Arsenal have got Brighton next Sunday.
Okay.
And Man City have got Everton next Sunday.
Who's first? Who's playing first?
I think it's Man City. It is. Yeah, Man City play at 2:00. Arsenal play at 4:30. So it'll be another Sky. It'll be another Sky one.
That's good. The build up to that one's going to be absolutely unreal. Yeah, because like you said, we can't. They can't afford to drop. They can't afford to rest any players now.
No,
and they've got to go to. They're playing in Madrid for Tuesday night. So wow. Yeah.
Arsenal have got Brighton on. So Brighton have got some tough games coming up. Brighton have got Man City, Arsenal, and Newcastle in the space of like a week, in the space of like 10 days.
All we can do is it does take you back to like think to yourself. Well, I mean, I know we were speaking in the, we I think like people. I think Kevin, who's Oprah enjoy Madrid, by the way, he's over in Madrid at the minute. He said that the pressure's on Arsenal now, but I think it's back now. I think it's back on Man City a little bit.
The pressure is back on Man City now. It is, of course it is. They've got the next game is Man City versus Real Madrid. They're going to be thinking about the Real Madrid game, but as soon as that game's over, they've got to be thinking about Everton. They've got to get back from Real Madrid probably on Wednesday, get a couple of training days in, and then they're off to Liverpool on the weekend. Yeah. Everton are in a relegation battle. They can't. They need to get out of there. If they can get any points, if they can get 1 point.
Europe. Brighton need to get in Europe next.
It's big games coming up.
Brighton have never been in Europe in their history. They're not going to roll over.
Exactly. All right, that is all we have time for. Thank you for everyone who's joined us in there. Thank you for everyone who's joined us in the comment section today. Jack, thank you for joining us. Simon, thank you for joining us. Gar, thank you for joining us. He says Arsenal must have a PhD in all the tests they've passed. He is not wrong there. He is not wrong. And Johnny, of course, thank you for joining us as well, Johnny. Make sure you join us for the Super 6 podcast every Monday at 8 o'clock when we're discussing this one. Don't worry, Jack. I will make sure I have a nice intro for tomorrow, considering we beat you. So I'll be making sure that I've got a decent one ready for you. Make sure you join us every Tuesday at 8 o'clock for the Arsenal show as well. And for any post-match reactions as well, straight after the game. Thanks for joining us today, Steve.
Yep. Cheers, mate. Thanks for having us.
And peace out, people. Stay safe and wash your hands.